Thank you. Thank you, Arnav, for for eagerly waiting. Appreciate that. How do I share this? I don't really know what I'm doing. Get shareable link. I think I did it. Yes. Look at that. I'm so smart. All right, let's announce it. Do I have stream delay on? Don't think so. Where do you even check that? Is it what's default? Is default 0 delay? Literally my first time doing this. All right, we got 6 people. Welcome everybody, whoever's here. Off the beginning. And give me or guess let me know how you guys are doing today. For the 6 of you, we'll say 5 minus Arnav that are here so far. Good. I am doing well. I am doing well. I saw, if you see the little figurines behind me, I got the Minecraft McDonald's meal. So therefore, I have to be doing well. But I did see the movie yesterday. If that doesn't get Best Picture, then I don't even know. That should be Best Picture. Anyone else have seen the Minecraft movie? Good to hear you guys are doing well. We got 9 people. Atrocious movie. It was not an atrocious movie. And what planet was the Minecraft movie an atrocious movie? Is it better than the Mario movie? I'm not gonna lie. I unfortunately haven't seen the Mario movie, and I really want to see it. I just never got around to it, and it's been a while now. But I made sure to go see Minecraft movie opening weekend. It was very excited to pirate in the near future. Very fair. Very fair. I don't blame you for wanting to pirate it, but I will say the in-theater experience was something. I felt like I paid for the in-theater experience. Everyone, when they said things like, when they went, I am Steve, everyone lost it in the theater. Like, everyone on their feet, standing, cheering. It was an amazing experience. So, if you wanted to see the movie, I still thought it was a good movie. I enjoyed the movie. So feel free to you can just, like, I don't know, go pirate it, of course. They released like some version that's missing a bunch of edits online somewhere, I saw. But if you want the experience, then you gotta go in. But I will be keeping my Minecraft movie toys with me. But we'll give people a few more minutes, and then oh yeah, why don't I just start? What do you focus on your physics PhD, and where are you doing your studies? Great question. Thank you for asking. So in the first question of that is, what am I focused on? I am doing the subfield of physics that I'm working in is called atomic, molecular, and optical physics. So that is, people just call it AMO, and I'm an experimentalist. I'm not a theorist. Congrats to all the theorists that you can do math better than I can, but I will not be doing theory. Not for me. So I work in experimental AMO physics, specifically in a lab that does applications of frequency combs. Man, I'm trying to figure out how to like. Hold on, that's the other question. A second. I'm trying to like set things up here still. How do anyone know how to like show the chat on the stream? Like in the. I wanna show it on the stream, but I don't know how to do that. Not gonna lie. If anyone knows how to do that and is more proficient in streaming than I am, let me know. But we're gonna have to roll this right now. Yeah, we'll get better at this. We'll do this a few more times. I want to do more of these things, but right now this is like, it took me a minute to just set up doing a stream in the first place. So we'll get better at this. But on the other question, where are you doing your studies? I am at the University of Colorado Boulder. The reason I'm here is because they are very good at AMO physics. I think they're ranked above Stanford by 1, if that puts some reference on why I went to CU for AMO physics. But yeah, AMO physics at CU Boulder. I'm a first year PhD, so I'm finishing up my first year right now. A lot of times that tends to be the worst one because you just take the hardest classes. Like I took graduate quantum mechanics, graduate E&M. I think you have to open another tab and layer it on screen. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I got no clue how to do that. I don't really want to take a ton of time to figure that out, but we'll make sure to get that going for the future, for sure. But if anyone's got questions now, I'm happy to answer. How do you got time for YouTube? I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't. I'm in a perpetual state of being behind because I'm doing 3 graduate classes this semester, and so last semester I TA'd, which meant I teach. I got paid for teaching, and now this semester I finally joined a lab, and I'm now getting paid to do research. So I'm doing research, and I'm doing 3 classes, and then I'm trying to make time to do this. It's crazy busy. Like I'm not gonna lie, but the difference is that I actually enjoy doing this. Like I genuinely want to help people. I feel like when it comes to specifically getting into research, there's a big disconnect overall on what research is, how to get into it. I feel like it was very confusing, even like when I went through learning about what it is the first time and how to be successful in those fields. Because when I finally figured out what research was like midway through college, I had friends that were like, oh, I started research when I was in high school. And I was like, what? I was like, you could do that? I didn't know you could do that. So that was so a lot of those things kind of motivated me. And there's also so many cool things going on across not just physics, but every field of research that you have no clue is even happening. And I have no clue is even happening. So my long-term goal also is I want to, hopefully starting this summer, once my classes wrap up, is I want to start just having conversations with people that are doing cool research problems, and you can hear about these insane things that are happening. What made you do AMO physics, and what questions are you answering specifically? Okay, so reason I chose AMO, I wasn't even fully confident when I even applied to PhDs that I wanted to do AMO. In my undergrad, I did a few projects in undergrad, but the main like physics field that I did in undergrad was condensed matter theory. Yeah, I did theory in undergrad, and I made a big switch from condensed matter theory into AMO experimental. And the reason I did that is because not only do I have a degree in physics, but I also have a degree in electrical engineering. And I very much value being able to combine the fields of the applied stuff with the theory. So that kind of drew me towards AMO because I see there's a lot of applied work in like quantum computing and a bunch of other fields like instrumentation devices in AMO. And also with the electrical stuff, my favorite field of electrical was RF. I'm a big fan of RF stuff. I did some of that in undergrad. So AMO is basically, the simplest way I can describe AMO is it's lasers rather than it's like lower frequency. So now I'm dealing at like terahertz stuff instead of like gigahertz or megahertz stuff. So it's kind of like I'm doing RF stuff just at a higher frequency. So yes, you can ask me a question. I just saw that. Yeah, of course, just drop it in there. We're all gonna be chatting. We're all gonna be chatting. So that was what drew me to AMO, is that I still need to use a lot of my electrical background and a lot of RF knowledge to be able to do AMO. But now I get an excuse to combine it with really cool physics. And for me, it's found a very happy medium between those things, and I'm really happy with that choice. And what questions are you answering specifically? So my specific project I've just kind of started is, it's called laser heterodyne radiometry. You can look that term up if you want big words. What I'm doing, we point a lens at the sun, we collect thermal light. When we collect that thermal light, we can use this device called a frequency comb to measure solar lines with very accurate, like super, super, super high precision. And the advantage doing that is that if we can get really, really precise measurements of these solar lines with a good enough like signal to noise ratio, so we get a very, very strong signal, we know really precisely what the frequency of these solar lines are, we can give this data to astronomers. And astronomers can use that for this new method they want to use to identify exoplanets called the radial velocity method, where they basically look at how a planet and star shifts about a relative center of mass that they have between them. And you can measure these frequency shifts. And if you can get really high precision with that, you can combine that with the transient method, which they use when a planet goes in front of a star. And that helps you get density of planets. And the combination of those gets you the density of a planet. And you can find Earth 2.0. So the main goal is help astronomers find Earth 2.0. I like a lot of space stuff, so I'm very happy to be working on devices. So yeah, AMO physics, but I'm working to help find Earth 2.0. So I think it's a lot of really cool things. A lot of really cool things. Oh yeah, you guys, you can all just ask questions. Just go for it. Just drop them in there. It's fine. We get bored too. I could just start playing games as we talk. I feel like that'd be funny. Oh wait, there might be a way to add a chat here. I might see something. So let me try this real quick. Give me 2 seconds. We're gonna try to add a source. Browse source. Browser. Paste link in URL field. Paste link in URL field. Let's call this chat. Uh-oh. All right, I see the URL. I'm talking to you specifically, who's helping me figure this out. I'm seeing the URL field like I have. If you see the thing that just popped up on screen, maybe we can figure this out real quick.
You're streaming, but if you want to be able to bring this chat in, what you're going to want to do is click on.
Oh, I got to go to my actual live stream on my channel. No? Customization? Wait, where is he? Technical difficulties trying to find out how to get the chat in the screen. I feel like that'd be better for the VOD. This is a 1-minute video. YouTube, open up stream. Click on the 3 dots and click pop out chat. Yeah, I'm looking for the 3 dots. 3 dots. Do I have to like go? Do I have to go like specifically into like open my live stream? Pop out chat. Yeah, that was it. Nice. And then And then copy that link. Oh, I see it. Got it. Copy the link. Paste the link. Click OK. You guys see it? Is that working? I feel like that's working. Yeah, my camera's just my phone. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go back and I'm going to answer every single question that you've asked. I'm just trying to get this chat working. How do I crop it now? I mean, that's like better, but I'd love to crop that. Yes, I'm glad you can see it. It's also in light mode, which is kind of disgusting. Do we just deal with it for now? I feel like maybe we just deal with it. Yeah, we might just deal with this. Because I have no clue how to crop things right now, and I should definitely figure out how to do this not while live. Probably a good idea. I'm checking 2 more things. Light mode is good. Disagree. Hard pass. All right. You know what? I don't even know. Well, we got more people in here to ask questions, so it's like it works out. The stream is laggy. Is the stream laggy? This is literally want to point out literally first time doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. Do not know what I'm doing. Which is crazy that it came out like that in like light mode. Because I didn't tell it to do light mode. Not laggy. Yeah, every stream, it's gonna have delay. I mean, we might just leave that for now so we can get to questions. I think we roll with that. Maybe a little bit later in the stream we'll try to mess with that more. But let's answer questions you guys have. Okay, we're gonna go back up. Let me drag the actual chat to my monitor so I can read things. Okay. We're going back to the top. We're gonna catch up. We're gonna speed run a bunch of these so we can catch up. But I hope that EKW Wensu, I'll say that. I hope that answered your question, like what I do specifically. But everyone also like just ask questions. It's like fine. Major EW, I'm actively in high school, but probably looking towards EE and material science. Speaking of, did you find any online simulators or software you found useful? LT Spice is very useful. Multisim is useful for EE. Those are circuit simulators. I mean, that's really gonna be my main answer. It's just things to simulate circuits. If you want to do PCB design, I really recommend doing PCB design if you do EE stuff and you want to do or get a better understanding of circuits and make projects. My favorite for that is Altium Designer. If you are at a university, then you probably can get access to a student license if you look up Altium student license. If you don't and you're not at a university but you still want to do PCB design, my next favorite that is open source, not as good as Altium unfortunately, but it still gets the job done. It's called KiCad. 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 How do you deal with professors who are really giving you a hard time? This one professor is really making the subject more difficult. It's tough. I mean, everyone has those. Sometimes you just got to deal with it until you get through the class. It is not an easy thing to do. Very much not easy. And I understand where you're coming from on that. There's a lot of sucky things that go on with that. But honestly, I've had sucky professors and there's not much you can do. You will think you can complain you really will. You'll think like, oh, I'll just complain to like the grad director and like they'll do something about it, and then they don't because they have tenure. So sometimes it just sucks. Get through the class, work with other people in the homeworks, just be nice in the class, do your best, and that class will not be much of your time. If it's not a PI that you're working with for your PhD, then it's not going to be a major long-term issue. It's just going to suck in the moment. It happens. I've had so many of those experiences, but you will get through it and you'll forget completely about it. You'll complain about it, but you'll forget about it. In my research setting, is it ever a bad idea to ask too many questions that may seem silly to your PI? No. Is there an upper? No. Zero upper limit. Simple answer: there's no upper limit. Ask dumb questions. Always. You should feel confident. I still work on sometimes needing to ask better dumb questions, but it's like fine. Like don't concern yourself too much with that. It's good to ask dumb questions because you need dumb answers. I had to look up something really stupid the other day. It was like, for a physics person, like I should know bosons and fermions, like what they are. And I just was blanking in the moment doing my homework. And I was like, oh God. And I text one of my friends, even though I could look it up. I just happened to be talking to them. I was like, by the way, like, what is this? And I'd like remember like, okay, wait, fermions have to be in different energy states. Bosons are the ones that you can have in the same state. And I remember bosine sign condensate. And then I was like, okay, cool. So I'll start making it again. But like, ask dumb questions. Perfectly fine. Thank you. Refreshing to see stuff on YouTube. I appreciate that. I will keep yapping. I'm going to get more chaotic and more stupid as time goes on because I feel sometimes like I'm too, how do I describe it? Too serious in some of the videos. And I feel like in the newer ones, you're seeing a little bit more dumb stuff going on, but I am not a very serious person and I'm very chaotic. So more of that will happen in the future. Senior going to college for physics. Do you know if it's common to have research and engineering or physics that can also be a work study to cover financial aid? Specifically with financial aid, like covering work study to cover financial aid, I'm not sure if that happens. That could be a very university specific thing. I would ask people who actually know what they're talking about that. I'm not sure, but maybe a better question I can answer there is, can you get paid to do it? If you go to a well-funded lab at university for research, then yeah, you can get paid. I got paid to do my research in undergrad. Specifically, I didn't get paid when it came to research during the semester because I didn't have that much time, because like especially when you're an undergrad, you have even less time than when you're a grad student. Like my life is, if I was an undergrad, there's a reason I didn't do this in undergrad. There was zero time to spare, but now I have like some time to spare, and I put all of that into making videos and trying to help people out like you guys. But you should ask someone about that. You can get paid a lot during the summer, like winters, to do a little bit of work if you're at a well-paid lab. But not all labs do that. So if you're reaching out to research, there's no problem bringing up to the professor and be like, hey, I have financial problems. Is it possible that I can get paid? That's not a rude question to ask. If you just be like, hey, I have financial concerns. Like, I want to do this, but I don't know if I can, if there's not funding. Perfectly reasonable thing to say. That theory sounds impressive for that theory. When you're finding the center mass for the planets via frequency differences, what do they do if there's more than one planet? I don't know, honestly. Maybe it's because I'm not too deep into it yet, but it's more so you're looking at the wiggle of the star. There's usually one star. We're not really looking at wiggles of like systems with two stars in them. At least that's not my job to do. So many planets, yes, but we're probably going to pick out the wiggle of one star, because when it shifts back and forth, that's a Doppler shift. So just like as when a car passes by you, and the frequency gets higher as it comes towards you, and then it passes you, it gets lower. Same thing kind of thing happens here, but with light. There's very, very tiny frequency shifts. We need to measure the shift on the scale of like 10 to 20 centimeters at a light really far away. That's how crazy precise we need to get these things. How competitive are physics PhD programs to get into? What are the requirements to get in? Physics specifically, I'm going to say if you want to do a physics PhD, you need research. You need to do some kind of research before you can get in. Definitely some. You need to do some kind of research. That has to happen. And are they competitive? Yes, they can be very competitive. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Very competitive. CU was the best program I got into, so it was kind of a good choice. It's ranked like number 3 or 4 in the nation for my field. So when I got that offer, I was like, sounds good. Happy with that. But Yes, they are very competitive, which is why I'm here to give you guys advice on things to do and how to get more active, because I've learned how to go from knowing absolutely nothing to how to get really good opportunities. So that's all I want to show you. Let's start moving through these questions faster. I want to apply CSPHD in the fall. What do you think I should do now to prep? Do more research. Literally that. Start when the end of the summer hits. You should be thinking now, are you going to have good rec letters? Good rec letters mean a ton. You need 3 usually for PhD programs. So start thinking, who will be your rec letters and will they write good rec letters? If not, maybe find someone to do some work with so then they can write you a good rec letter. Should I study for AP Physics C in my grade 10 or still study AP Physics 1 for my friends at the calculus? Both are going to be fine. I mean, just learn whatever you find more fun. You're at high school still. It's not too concerning. Do what you find fun, especially if you're going to continue learning things in the future. You're going to learn more. Pick what you want. Learning some calculus isn't a bad idea. I took AP Physics 2. Now I skipped 1. I just took 2 in my senior year of high school. So hard for me to say exactly what to do about that, but both will work. I'm just getting done with my BS. I think I should go for a master's or PhD. If you want to get paid to go to school, do a PhD, but only do that if you genuinely think you might finish the PhD. Because if you do a master's, you're going to pay to go to a school. If you're doing your PhD, then you're going to then you're gonna, what do you call it? You're gonna pay. So for me, I got no large amounts of money by any means. So for my undergrad, I went to the school near my house and worked hard there. And then when it came to applications, I was able to get into very good schools, and I'm at CU now to do my PhD. And for me, that was very beneficial, because the fact that I'm able to be at this school is very expensive. It is a very expensive school, and if you're out of Colorado, it's very expensive. But I'm able to be here because for PhD, I'm not paying. They're paying me to be here. My tuition gets covered, and I make around like 45K a year stipend on top of that, which you might be like, that's not that much. You also might be like, wow, that's great. It's fine for what I do here. It's fine. I'm happy. And you don't do a PhD because you want money. You'll get money after, for sure, but you don't go into it wanting money. I was admitted to CU Boulder Physics undergrad. I was wondering if you had, congrats. I was wondering if you had info on the undergrad curriculum and how the research opportunities, dude. I would say if you want to be the best at AMO physics, come here and just think, what do I got to do for AMO physics? Because it's great. AMO is fantastic here. You should be doing AMO. And obviously, you don't have to. Because then you just go somewhere else for grad school. But like, the best opportunities at CU are going to be in AMO. And any info in the undergrad, it's amazing. So the great thing about CU is it has one of the, if not the best, physics education department in the country. They have a sub-department in the physics department for physics education. So they put a lot of emphasis on making the education here as good as possible. They put a lot of emphasis on that. So that helps a ton. Like that really, the fact that they have, the professors are checked to make sure they've got a good curriculum, which is not something I had in my undergrad. I had some professors just like giving me slides. Like they would just take the book up to the up to the chalkboard, and they would have like Griffith's E&M and just start like writing, like reciting what they said in the book and writing it. But that you can't do that here. They make sure you can't do that. They value having a good education here. If it's not too expensive for you to come here, I highly recommend it for physics. It's a fantastic program. Hi, my friend wanted to get a PhD in physics and astrophysics. Any tips for good schools? USA News is like a general list of schools, but like don't concern yourself too much. Another thing is what schools are good for undergrad matter a lot different than what matters for grad school. And you, like me being at CU was not something I even knew a place I was going to be applying to when it came to doing my applications, because it's like, okay, I want you to all think on the top of your head. Think of the best schools you can think of. Boom. You probably just thought of Harvard. You thought of MIT, Stanford. You thought of Caltech. You thought of Yale. Like you thought of all those name brand schools. But when it comes to grad school, it matters different. It matters what lab you're in even more than the school. And also there's schools that are really, really good at a specific program. like world class at a specific program compared to other schools. Like CU Physics is ranked above Stanford in AMO Physics. If you go to USA News, it's there. So it's like it is top tier research here. But when you're applying to undergrad, you wouldn't think of CU Physics or CU Boulder a lot of the time. And you wouldn't be like, oh, that school is just as good as Stanford if I'm doing a physics degree. Like you wouldn't think of those things. So it matters a lot different. Like UC Santa Barbara also is fantastic physics if you want to do like quantum computing. But I mean, you might not have thought of UC Santa Barbara as much more than like a party school that's on the beach. So there's a lot of different things. Do you think it's easy to avoid bad professors if you pair by consulting Rate My Professor? Rate My Professor is like, it's hit or miss. Like if it has like horrendous ratings, like yeah, you can roll with that. But best option is just talk to older people, older students who like, I would just talk to people and they would tell me. Now I've made my mistakes by not looking, by not asking people. And I was just like, oh, it's like an elective. Like who cares? And I would take the class and I would get screwed. But it's if sometimes you have no option, especially when you get to higher level courses, like there's just one dude teaching it and you're just stuck with it. Nothing you can do about it. But talk to people. How hard is it to date during a PhD? Do partners really understand what you do? It's fine. Like there's plenty of people in relationships and stuff. It's like, I think depending on where you go, if you're in a lab that cares about you and you have a good PI situation, then you get to have a life in grad school compared to undergrad. And I know CU Boulder has a better work-life balance than a lot of other grad schools do. So another reason why I'm here, but I still think overall grad school puts effort on making sure you have a life rather than just, I feel like in undergrad, I did nothing but school ever. And it was like always like, I got to do clubs, I got to do research, I got to do classes. And like, that was 110% of my time. Like there was nothing else. That's why I did not start making anything until even after my first grad semester, like any content. Have you ever contacted a professor when you were in high school? No, I didn't know about that, but I have friends who did. One of my roommates actually did that. He started research in high school. He just cold emailed a person. I have a video on my channel called Getting into Research is Easier Than You Think, where I explain these things to you of how to do that. If you want to contact someone in high school, go watch that video. If you want to contact someone when you're in undergrad too, anything, not even in school. It's exactly what I did. It's a good resource. Can you talk about HoloSim? I want to see where this question was. I have a list. Popping the questions out. Can you talk about HoloSim? We can finally talk more about it since it's approved. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can talk about it more. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, the only stipulation in that is I have to present on it in July, Mustafa. So I don't know exactly what will be if I like everything, but I'm pretty sure you can. What does your workout routine consist of? Hence being able to manage other habits and your PhD research. Oh, sick. Yeah. I try to do right now. I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I go to the school gym. I leave my classes or leave my lab classes or lab, depending on the day, at like 6 p.m. I go straight to the gym. I do about an hour and a half of working out. Then I go home, protein shake, eat a ton of food, right back to homework for the rest of the night. Or if I don't have that much homework, then I'll chill. But my split is, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do a 3-day split. I do back and bi, then chest and tri, and then legs and shoulders. And I do 3 sets for each exercise and 4 exercises total. In the summer, and normally I like to do 6 exercises total. So if I'm doing back and bi, it'd be 3 bicep, 3 back. But in the semester, I gotta be a little bit more time efficient, and it's still fine to do 2 exercises on one group, muscle group, 2 on the other. I'm looking for a master's or PhD program in Europe or US. How is the student culture in the US for master's students? Work-life balance. Depends on where you go. I'm not gonna lie. Completely depends where you go. I can speak for myself. I know I chose CU because it balances the quality of research here and the work-life balance. You can go to other places. I've heard very bad things about like MIT having an awful work-life balance for the physics program. But it also, even on top of that, it's very lab specific. There are labs. I said CU has a great work-life balance. There are still labs at CU where people work way more. Like their expected to work way more than I'm expected to work. And for me, when it came to choosing a lab, I wanted to make sure that I had time to do things like this that we're doing right now. Best way you learn circuits. I'm low-key struggling right now. YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. A tutor, like, you can get a tutor if you want. I did tutor. I was a tutor in undergrad, so I tutored math and physics and circuits and stuff. And my takeaway from tutoring is learn how to learn on your own. Like, yes, like you should every once in a while go ask people, but go ask your peers. Go make friends to ask them like how to learn something. You don't need to directly go pay someone a ton of money because tutors are so expensive. And I know that because I made the money. I got paid so much money to do like sometimes it felt like not much. And it's crazy. It's crazy. So go ask peers to do things and then watch YouTube videos, learn circuits, and talk to people. That's why I learned it. I was really interested in particle physics, but life led me to study, I'm guessing BTech in electric and communication. I don't mind. Yeah, I mean, you can't, like, nothing's impossible. All the resources are out there. Like, you could start, I mean, you got a while to go. Like, you would have to read Griffith's, E&M, Griffith's Quantum, start there. Those are the two undergrad textbooks for E&M and Quantum. And then once you kind of get that under your belt and the math starts to make sense, then you can start moving to grad. It's like, I mean, it's going to be hard to self-study. For me, I take particle physics. Now I have friends who do particle physics and they love it. But for me, particle physics is something I like to stay up to date on because I think the discoveries are really cool. But for me, it's not the field I work in. So, let me see where I am in the chat now. Let's see. I just answered extremely interested in particle physics. Where is that one? There. Okay. What do you plan on doing after your PhD? I think I want to start an industry. So most people tend to go to industry. Only like 1% of people end up even being able to be a professor because there's just not that many professorships open. But I probably want to start an industry because I want to make money for a minute. If that changes, I will do a postdoc. Where that will be, I don't know. I'm in my first year. I got a while. I got like 5 years before I got to worry about that. But probably industry, and I can only speak on my field, but AMO physics, if you have a physics PhD in AMO physics, it pays a lot of money. I'm talking well over 100K. Like, I'm just being honest. It just does. So looking forward to that. What is the most effective way to study university physics in your experience? Is it opening? So my strat, because I can't concentrate for the life of me, is I would do AMO. I say AMO. Sorry, I'm like, I can't multitask for the life of me. I would open my homework problems and I would look at a problem and I would go, okay, did I learn this material yet? And since I didn't learn much in class, I'm not great at learning in class. So then I would be like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to read the textbook section on this topic. And I would read the topic on that section immediately. And then right after I finished reading the topic, I would then work on the problem for that topic. And then I would do the next couple problems, look up the solutions, try to understand the solutions. It's okay to look up solutions. You can, like, the amount of solutions that I copied on homeworks is a lot. Probably more than I was able to just solve completely myself without looking anything up. And it's okay. Like, it's okay. The difference is that there's a difference in just copying something for the sake of copying it and not looking about it. But you do, like, active, like, copying. Like, if you're like, okay, I can't get it, I gotta look up the solution. It's fine. Look up the solution, but then take the time you need to understand it. That is what you should do. Don't move on from a problem unless you understand the problem. And if like an hour goes by, you really don't understand it, then move on and go find someone else or go ask your professor to explain it. That's what I would say. What are you researching? Quick recap. Yes, I'm assuming other people are here. So we'll explain it again. So I'm doing experimental AMO physics at CU Boulder. I am a first year. I just joined the lab this semester, and the project I'm getting into is called laser heterodyne radiometry. And what that means is that I am using thermal light from the sun to try to measure solar lines on the sun. So like interactions between the sun and like our atmosphere and stuff. And you can see absorption lines, like ways that the light from the sun interacts with everything in between the sun and here, and where your like receiver is. And you can basically measure these things that come out from the sun. And if you can get really, really, really precise measurements of that with this device called a frequency comb, so you know exactly what it is. A frequency comb is a device that connects the RF domain and the optical domain. So like frequencies and like megahertz and gigahertz to optical frequencies, which is the only device that really is able to do that. And if you can get these measurements super, super precise, then you can determine what the frequency shift of the planet is. And actually, let me step back from that. If you can determine these frequencies, then we can hand this data over to astronomers, and they can put it in their models to more effectively determine what the frequencies, what the Doppler shift of a star is as a planet. So as a planet goes around it, you know, the star and the planet are going to shift a little bit with each other. They're going to shift a little bit. And if you can measure that really, really small Doppler shift, then you get these changing frequencies, and that will tell you how much the planet is wobbling. And if you can use that, then you can combine that, which is called the radial velocity method for identifying exoplanets, with the transient method for identifying exoplanets, which is when if this is my star, when a planet comes in front of it, and you measure that, then you can get the density of a planet. And getting that will very, very much be able to help people find Earth 2.0. So in simple terms, I'm making very, very precise measuring devices to help astronomers find Earth 2.0. So it's a combination. I gotta know EE stuff, RF stuff. I gotta know a ton of physics, and I gotta build this stuff, and I gotta know some astronomy. So for me, it's a win-win. I really want to learn PCB design, especially in RF. Any guidance on developing this skill? I feel like there's a big jump from following introductory tutorials to designing custom PCBs. Absolutely. So I went through this I had to learn how to design PCBs in my undergrad for a Rocketry team I was on. And there was no one to teach me, nobody. And I had to figure out how to learn it completely independently. So the best resource I would say is, first, make sure you have an okay enough background in circuits. But second, I think one of the best resources out there, my favorite YouTube channel to watch, is called Phil's Lab, Phils, Phil's Lab. Go look at his channel. He's got amazing videos. The one I started with is designing an STM32 board that he has, because you need like a microcontroller to like program stuff on. That's a very like fundamental thing you want to put in boards a lot of the time. But start with him, learn things, and I think if you hear the lingo he says in those videos and just start breaking down like what that lingo is, then over time you're gonna start developing this proficiency. And then the software you should learn is Altium Designer is the best one if you're at a university, because you can get a free student license. If you don't, then look up KiCad, KICAD, and use that one. What are the current scenario for funding for PhD? It's not that I know there's a lot of annoying funding stuff going on right now in PhDs. It sucks. It's annoying. But specifically for PhD in physics in the US, physics as a field is not as affected. I've been decently isolated from a lot of the issues going on, so it's been okay. So you should be okay if you want to do a physics PhD. Now, the more you get into more like medical stuff in physics, like if you do like medical physics, then you might start getting affected. I don't want to speak on what I don't know, but if you go to a well-funded school, if you're at a well-funded lab, you'll probably be fine. But some other fields are getting destroyed a little bit more, and it sucks. Are you okay with spending so much time solving math problems? I'm a junior in fighting. I think I'm gonna assume you're an undergrad. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I hate homework. Like I do. It's like, that's not why I did physics, because I like to do homework. And that's also why I'm not a theorist, because I don't enjoy solving things like that. If you don't do that, then you're probably not a theorist. You'll probably find more enjoyment doing experimental stuff, because now I get to build instrumentation. And I'm applying all that knowledge that I spent 4 years learning, which is a weird thing with physics, because it's like, I feel like a lot of other degrees, like you do an engineering degree, right? And you at least hit like junior year and stuff. And now all of a sudden it's like, you feel like you're doing something where you're like, oh, I've taken this material I've learned before, and now I'm applying it. I'm doing something real. The physics degree, it was like, I went through all of undergrad and finished that degree, and I still felt like I was barely, like, I had not done anything applied. I was like, why did I learn 100% of this? And I think that, and I kind of lost a lot of my passion for physics because of that, because I don't think I understood that much. And the funny thing is when I applied to grad school for a PhD, I actually had no intention on doing a physics PhD. I was like, I'm satisfied with how much physics with how much physics I know, and I'm gonna do engineering. So most of the programs I applied to and got into were electrical engineering programs and aerospace programs. Yes, with an EE degree and a physics degree, I got into aerospace PhD programs. So another advantage of doing physics still is that people like physics. And from that, I went to all the visits and I came to CU Physics, and it's just a really good program. And I was like, man, okay, fine. And I decided to commit to it. And I still didn't know how I felt about that. I kind of had like a weird feeling that I was like, I don't know if I'm happy with the fact that I committed to a physics program when I didn't want to know it, because I know the classes in the beginning of grad school kind of suck, and they did. Last semester, the classes kind of did suck. But what I have found is that I was finally, like, now getting into research and doing things, like doing more advanced topics. I'm finally getting back to the stuff I wanted to learn when I picked physics as a major in grad school. I'm finally getting back to that. And that's a good thing, because I'm finally feeling like, oh, I'm finally learning like more things that feel applied. Like when someone tells me something, they're like, we do it here. Like, this is the use of this. So it's a weird field because it takes so much longer than I think most other fields to get to a point where you can use that information. But it's really rewarding because it lets you do so many things. Like if you see, like the fact that I was able to go and do aerospace if I wanted to from doing physics, like I could have transitioned there if I wanted to. So it's interesting. And I think it's something you got to stick through a lot longer, but it's rewarding. I lost where I was. I was scrolling without thinking. What's the best advice for someone who will take physics 1 and 2 next year? I never took physics before. Watch a lot of YouTube videos, talk to a lot of people. I think the first time learning physics, intro physics is not too bad, but you have to commit to wrapping your brain around that way of thinking. And that tends to be what is most difficult for a lot of people. So take a minute to adapt your thinking to what you want to do. I'm gonna try to doing this. I can water bottle. And then anyone see the anyone see the we got the Minecraft movie stuff here. I saw the Minecraft movie yesterday. So good. Best picture movie. You guys should see it. Minecraft movie. I still got my toys over there. But yep, where were we? Just it's gonna feel very hard in the beginning to wrap your brain around how to think in physics. Like even just learning what a force is for the first time. How velocity and acceleration graphs look, and position graphs, how they change, how they relate to each other. It can be different. It can be very difficult to wrap your mind around. So just talk to a lot of people, be passionate about learning, and just enjoy it. And remember, even if that feels hard and you finish the class and that feels very hard, if you want to keep going in it, there's so much more to learn. So you'll have plenty more times to keep going. Just have fun with it. What's the best way to start reading research papers as a high schooler? I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to the place that, when I want to look for a research paper, I'm going to Google Scholar, I'm typing something in, and I'm looking at it there. So what you're doing is not going to be that, because the research papers are very hard to read. And I mean, when I say hard to read, I mean, as an undergrad, I'm sitting end of sophomore year of undergrad and I'm reading my very first research paper I read. It felt so overwhelming to read that. I was reading that paper and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I genuinely don't know if I can do this, because this paper that I'm reading there's 3 words in this entire thing that makes sense. I have no clue what I'm reading. It's going to be very, very hard to read a research paper without a reason. For you at your level, if you're not in a research group, and if you want to do research, reach out to a professor. Go look at my video on that. Reach out to a professor and get involved with a group, and they will help direct you on how to learn this information. What papers matter. How to find papers for that field. But if you want to do, how do you research in general, you want to go find a topic that feels interesting to learn. If you want to learn physics, then go find introductory physics books and start reading them. If you already know introductory physics, then go find the slightly higher level ones and start reading about those. Just read read textbooks that are more welcoming to your level of understanding. Because even just unless you're cracked at math already and you've finished Calc 3 and Diffie-Q and linear algebra and all those, then if you try to crack open a research paper, it's going to make no sense to you. That's my honest answer. Minecraft movie is the best one of all time. Absolutely. What's the best way to start reading? Oh, I just answered that one. Whoops. Oh, I wanted to ask for a PhD pay and all that fancy stuff. Does your food get covered for free? Housing? $45K a year sounds solid to me if all that stuff is covered. No. I have to pay. My tuition is covered. I pay for food. I pay for housing. I'm speaking specifically on like US stuff, so could work different at other schools, but like no. I pay for housing, I pay for food and everything. The thing that gets covered is my tuition. The 45K years are like what I live off of, like every year, and it's fine. I mean, it might that to you it might be like, oh, that doesn't sound like much anymore. I mean, it's not like I'm a PhD student. Like what do you like? I'm not. I got a ton of money. I don't you like. You don't. I don't do this for the money. The money will come, but like you don't get into this because you want to do it. You do it because you want to solve cool problems. You want to do research, which is what I love. How old am I? I'm 22. I'm 22. So, yeah, there's not really more to that answer. I'm 22 years old. Thank you for answering my previous question about CU Boulder. How many people in the PhD program did their undergrad at CU? Oh, there's a chunk. There's not a ton. There's like not like that many because a lot of people. I think the people that like did AMO and like loved it here and want to stay in Boulder because Boulder's like a great place to live, stayed, and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna keep going. Especially if they were like in a lab and the professor wanted to keep them, then they just stayed. But if you, a lot of people also are just like, I'm gonna go somewhere else because like I spent 4 or 5 years in Boulder. I'm just gonna go do something else for the next 4 or 5 years. Do you think going to undergrad helps her? Yeah. I mean, it would. If you're like already involved in a lab and you're doing research as an undergrad and you want to stick with that lab when it comes to grad school, then it's like the professor's just going to keep you and take you for your PhD. So yeah, it would help. Yeah, going to a school helps, of course, when it comes to continuing to go to that school. How many hours a week do you work in the PhD program? I mean, I work a lot, like just because, like in general, I work constantly because I want to do YouTube stuff like I'm doing right now. I want to do research and I have classes. I probably put like I work like 60-ish hours a week. So maybe 60, 70. It's a lot, like, but like I don't know. Especially after undergrad, I'm sure a lot of you doing STEM stuff in undergrad feel like you work 120 hours a week. So I feel like I still work less than I did in undergrad. I feel like I was actually doing like 100 hours a week in undergrad. So it's like chill. Guys, if you ask a question, it's already been answered. It's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. No problem. We're all here to learn. We're great. Do you think computational physics would benefit from taking a lot of pure math classes or electives like mathematical modeling? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would. I mean, if you want to do theory, that stuff is going to help a ton, especially computational stuff is very useful. If you want to do experimental stuff, then focus more on the computational side of things, but going to be very, very useful. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, comp physics major. I actually started as a comp physics major. My first year of undergrad, I was comp physics, and I switched. Not because I didn't like it and I thought it was dumb, just because I wanted to sub out the EE stuff or the CS stuff with EE stuff. That was just my personal choice. I liked CS as a thing to learn for fun, to apply it to my field, and I didn't want to lose that and take a shit ton of classes on it and then start being like, oh, this doesn't feel that fun anymore. So that was my personal choice, but comp physics is a great degree. Do it. If you want to do it, do it. Okay, we're gonna do a quick pause because I feel like I gotta set like a thumbnail for this stream. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Maybe I think I go like this. If I hide that. Okay. Arnav, I know you're watching. I saw you chatting. I'm gonna make a face and you're gonna screenshot it and send it to me so I can make it to the thing. I can make it a thumbnail. Okay, ready? I know you're looking. I'm gonna do it. Is that too much? Maybe like Did you take it? Did you take it? Okay, if that didn't work, maybe if you didn't see that, maybe like Did you take it? Did you do it? You better have done it. I don't know if you did it. Yes, you did. No, the other one. No, the other one. No, that was a shocked one. Give me the other one. Did you miss it? No. I want like. Yes. Awesome. Okay, wait. Hold on. I like the second one. I'm taking this image. Hope you guys enjoyed the thumbnail making live time thumbnail making. We'll call it stream 1 thumb. Now, because we'll do this again. I think I go here now. Do I like? I think I go here. Go here. Did it like auto do a thumbnail? We upload a thumbnail. Where is it? Downloads. Stream 1 thumbnail. Open. Let's go! We did it. Nice. I think it's worked. Like Frozen. I'm gonna let it cook for a minute. We're gonna leave that there. Everything is frozen. We're just gonna leave it. Oh, change your state. Nice. Sick. VNevo will get people that weren't, guys. If you just clicked on this stream and you're not in the Discord server, go to the bio in this live stream. Join the Discord server because that's where we announce these things. Where do we leave off? Gotta find it now. I think we. Oh wait, God, wait. Appreciate all the questions, guys. We got a lot. Got a lot of questions. Do you have any tips on reducing the cost of an undergrad? Oh wait, we're not even there yet. Do you have any thoughts on the software engineering market, whether CS are still worth it? I think my personal opinion is if don't do pure software. Don't do pure software. I think it's a little riskier. Like, yeah, it's probably gonna work out eventually. You're gonna get a job, you're gonna make a ton of money. It's like fine. But like, I think a much better option is to take CS and use it as something to apply to another field. That's my vote. So it's like how I was doing computational physics in the beginning, and then even though like I did EE in physics, I still learned a lot of CS stuff on the side, specifically for the purposes of you need that. Like everyone uses that. Like if you're not gonna get away with not knowing how to code, especially if you want to do research. Like you will not get away with it. So learn CS and be like, okay, what field can I apply this to? Engineering fields love if you're like, oh, I know good, like I have take a field and learn something else to apply to it. Like learn aerospace, but then have a deeper understanding of physics. Learn E and have a deeper understanding of physics. Learn either of those and have a deeper understanding of CS stuff. All of those are going to be super, super powerful. So I recommend doing that. I'm trying to fix my mindset during undergrad. Should research and academics be for your fun activity, or do you view more like a grind to push through? How do you ever do? Oh, yeah. Have I dealt with burnout? Yeah. I love research. For me, it's the more fun thing. Yes, it's work. Like, it is more work. But every time, even when I'm doing the work and I get, like, tired of it, I'm like, oh, God, I still want to break. I still finish that work. And it's, like, the thing out of all the things I had to do, it's the thing I wanted to do the most. So, yeah. It's, for me, it still feels a little more fun. Especially in undergrad, at everything, you're just constantly working and everything feels busy. It's just, unfortunately, a lot of times how it is. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. And especially you're like me and you're not like stupidly efficient at getting homework done. I'm stupidly slow at getting homework done. After the stream, I'm going to continue my quantum mechanics homework. I'm doing my quantum homework right now. We're doing time dependent perturbation theory right now. Big words, but that's what we're doing right now. Have I dealt with burnout though? That's the second part of the question. Absolutely. I would say my biggest burnout, sophomore and junior year of undergrad were the worst. Junior especially. So junior year was like, I learned a lesson on how much to commit myself to. I did 20 plus credits both semesters of all technical classes. And I also did research, and I was leading a avionics team, building the hardware for sounding rockets. It was like, I'm a big fan of pushing yourself because you're never going to feel like you have time, ever. Even when you like start as a step further and being like, oh God, like I really want to do research, but I got no time because I got classes. Hard to break it to you, you're never going to have time. It's going to happen to be there. But that year, I pushed myself too far. And I hit the end of that year and I was so burned out. Stream? This error. YouTube not responding. My internet dying. You guys hear me still? We good? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain through streaming. Are we back? I think it died a little bit. Is someone here able to tell me? Like, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we can hear you. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Also, I don't got fiber internet here. It's just like my internet is just gonna die at random points. So if it dies and it cuts, yeah, if it cuts for a few seconds, just spam the chat for a minute and just tell me, so I know to just stop talking, because it's just gonna happen. I'm trying to move for next year, so a big thing on my bucket list that I want in a new place is better internet. Like, I want fiber internet. There's a lot of rocks here, and they can't bring fibers in. So annoying. And then Xfinity sucks balls. They suck. And then, okay, I want to like refresh this because it's like it's telling me. Okay, I think we got it. Nice. Okay, back to where we were. Let's go back to questions. I lost where we are. I'm gonna try and see these a little bit faster so we can catch up. Do you think you have any thoughts on whether software engineering market, whether we answered that one? Trying to fix my mindset. Oh yeah, we answered that one. Do you have any tips for reducing cost of an undergraduate degree? I got some good schools, but they're expensive. Community college is an option because it'd be harder to transfer in. It's not stupidly hard to transfer in community college. I know people who transfer from community. I have a friend who transferred from a community college into Stanford. It's not impossible. They actually have programs specifically for community college people transferring, so I don't want to pretend it's impossible at all. Good schools, but they're expensive. You don't have to concern yourself too much about like, oh, I got to go to this. If you got into like, I don't know, if you got into like Harvard, sure, go for it. Just do it. But I didn't go to an expensive school for undergrad. I specifically went to the cheapest school I possibly could, which was the school that was 10 minutes from my house, because I could just commute and I didn't have to pay for housing. And I'm lucky I was able to do that, but it was also because I was in state and I got cheaper tuition too. So that was a big reason I did that. And I recommend for you, don't stress too much about that. It's hard to make it affordable. I mean, there's scholarships out there. You should always be applying for scholarships. No matter if your school, you only have to pay $3,000, you have to pay $30,000. But it's going to be expensive. That's why I went to a school close to me for undergrad, and then I went to whatever I wanted for my PhD, because now I don't have to worry about paying. You know, you get paid to do a PhD. How much did you make a tutor? Any tips on getting yourself established? Just start advertising yourself. I just want like Facebook and stuff, and I started like I had a message I sent once a week out, just like social medias, and you just got parents coming to you and just like offering you money. I actually I started making, without an undergrad degree, I was making $40 an hour as a tutor. It's good money, especially, and I also did it all online. I did Zoom tutoring, so I would get out of class and just go sit at a table at my university, open my computer up, hop in a Zoom for an hour, close it. Oh, is it cutting out? Oh no. Someone tell me if we're back. I gotta I'm gonna keep this up. I have something that's gonna monitor my internet and tell me if it just shits itself. Arnav, once again, you're here. If you know a website that can like tell me constantly, continuously how my internet's doing or something, let me know. Oh wait, I forgot I hid the chat. I didn't put it back. Boom. Back. All right. Yeah, I've tried to put something up that can tell me if my internet is dying. So we're just gonna have to deal with that, unfortunately. Nothing I can do. I don't even know where we were. Lost it. Oh, what is Moon? Thank you, Ryan. What is Moon? Moon is what moon isn't, because if moon is what it isn't, then moon can't be what it is, because if moon was what it was not, then what is moon? If it was not what moon was. I hope that was clear. What do you plan? Oh, wait, I already lost track. Okay, we're just going to look at that list. Why physics and not math? I mean, that's a personal question, right? If you enjoy pure math more than physics, then do pure math. I think there's value financially in doing more applied fields. And you might think, oh, physics isn't applied. You can get very applied. The deeper you get into it, especially once you get to like a PhD level, it becomes applied. Especially if you do experimental stuff. But if you're like, why not math? I mean, a lot of people that get physics degrees also get math degrees because you just need it. So it's like, if you want to do pure math, just do what you enjoy. If you do what you enjoy and what you feel like you're going to enjoy the most, then things are going to, like, you're just going to be happier. And the money will come because you're going to want to work hard at those things. You want to get better at those things. So try to just do what you want to do. I like physics, me personally, because it's what I enjoy more. I'm not a theorist. Sometimes math annoys me, but I love the conceptual part of physics. And I love the amount of things that we can do with it. And I want to help do that. Are tachyons real or not? Honestly, I don't know. Not going to lie. Feels like that's someone else I could ask that question to. One of my particle friends. Personally, I don't know. Wait, you're doing your AMO physics PhD for 6 years? Yeah. I'll probably be here for like, I mean, my goal's 5. It very well could be 6 though. Can't really plan for those things. I'm just gonna hope. I'm shooting for 5, but we'll see what happens. What jobs can you get in industry with an AMO? Quantum computing stuff. I mean, you can work in. I mean, you know, everything like optics, laser. Like, there's so many fields that need you. You can go anything from like TI Instruments, Texas Instruments, to you can go to work at like Quantinuum, like quantum, like Intel, and like there's so many things you could do. A lot of things. All right. Also, let's quick introduction in case you're also new here and you don't know who I am. Just want to throw that out there. My name is Dario. I'm new at doing YouTube stuff, but I enjoy it. I'm a physics PhD student at the University of Colorado Boulder. I'm in my first year, and I'm 22 years old. And I did my undergrad at the University of Buffalo, which I am from Buffalo, and I got my degrees in physics and electrical engineering. So yeah, that's that. What is your PhD topic? I'm going to summarize that quickly. When people think about pursuing a physics PhD, could you be more than investment, the good ROI, let's say engineering? Could you explain the physics pipeline? I think it's becoming more applied, but like if you want to do like getting just a physics bachelor's, I mean, it's like, no, you can do engineering stuff. Like, just if you do physics and you're concerned about that stuff, just like do how do I put it? Just do something more applied with it, because then you can help you get a better ROI. But like, you should always do things that you enjoy. The physics pipeline defines. I'm not exactly sure to answer that. What is your PhD topic? I'm going to define this very briefly. I do experimental AMO physics, and I'm working at the intersection using frequency combs to do thermal measurements on the sun, and I'm going to do that to help identify Earth 2.0, because if we can get really, really precise measurements of solar lines on the sun that absorb with our atmosphere, then we can get what the Doppler shifts of stars would be as a planet goes around them and it wiggles back and forth. And then we can combine that, which is called the radial velocity method, with the transient method, which is currently what they use to, like, when a planet goes around a star. And you can combine those, get the density of a planet, and that can help find Earth 2.0. So I'm designing very, very precise instrumentation that measures these Doppler shifts as a star wiggles back and forth. Any particular A-level physics, I got 20 days. As physics level, like AP. YouTube. Look up the topic, look up YouTube, watch 10,000 people do it. Find a good textbook. Find many different ways of people explaining things until it makes sense. And talk to your friends, study with your friends if it helps. If you're not someone that's good at studying with people, then just lock in yourself. You just gotta put in the work. Interdisciplinary over specialized learning for physics. I have no clue what that means. Learn with people, and also learn cool topics that you find interesting. Can you break into engineering with a physics degree? Absolutely. I job offers, so I could have done engineering. Like you can, easily. I have friends who did just like I know I did electrical engineering, but I have friends who did just physics and then went to do engineering. You can. Answer is simply yes. Especially if you do research. You do things outside of class, for sure. Should I go into physics in this country where the natural sciences aren't really popular? I mean, I wish I it's a hard one for me to answer because I know your situation. If you can go abroad to a country where it is more popular, sure, then do that. If you feel passionate, like you feel very passionate that you want to do physics, then do it because you feel very passionate about it. If you don't want to leave your country and you feel like it's just gonna be an impossible option, then you can do like electrical engineering or something. Still a great degree. Or if you feel like you want to do physics but you don't feel confident in doing it, then do like electrical engineering with like a physics minor. So you still get your physics background. You can always transition into it later. And then you get something else in case all doesn't go well and you decide you don't want to do it. How would you discover physics was a thing for you? I tried a bunch of stuff. I also just in high school even I would watch YouTube videos on physics topics that made no sense to me. Not like I actually understood, like PBS Space Time, that channel. Nothing made sense to me, but I was just really fascinated by what went on, and I kind of just like you kind of at college you kind of just send it at some point. Like you don't go into college even and you like know exactly what you want to do. Like this is perfect for me. You kind of just like keep going, keep learning cool things until eventually you're like, sure. You think that you've taken an applied physics major would offset that feeling like you applied nothing? Yeah, totally. I'm doing an applied physics track for my PhD. My degree still says physics on the end, but like the applied track just forces me to take a few classes outside of physics. I'm taking like some electrical engineering and stuff. So, yeah. Is research a lonely process? How do you handle loneliness and burnout? It's not lonely. Like doing research, it's not lonely. You work in like a lab with like friends, and like you also have a whole cohort of people with you here that like are also your friends. It's the opposite of lonely. I feel like I have more people that I can talk about things with than ever before. How do you handle loneliness and burnout? Well, there's no loneliness and burnout in a grad school. Not as much. Undergrad, there absolutely is. How do you handle burnout? You're gonna have to force yourself to have a moment to like take a step back, and you're never gonna want to feel like you're always gonna feel like you should be doing work, but at some point for your own mental health, you need to just take a minute and just chill and do something you want to do. Do you use ChatGPT AI? Yes, and I use it all the time. If I don't know how to do a question, I'm like my homeworks, I can't find my homework questions online anymore. I'll put it in ChatGPT and just like see what it says. It's something you bounce ideas off of. It's not something you take information as absolute off of, but it's something you can bounce ideas off of. And also I use it in research all the time. If someone puts out a paper, like I get a research paper, right? We had a question earlier about like how do you read a research paper? Something that I would do is even now, it's like, okay, someone's using a lot of big words I don't know. I would give it like a paragraph of a paper and I would be like, explain this like I'm a 5-year-old. And it would take that and explain it very simply. And then I work my way up until I understood that paragraph. And I still use that every day. Like if I get something that I don't know. Have you read Leonard Susskind's A Theoretical Minimum? No, I have not. Never even heard of it. How would you go about finding professors that can offer you research opportunities before attending undergrad? Assuming that it's worth to start getting in contact early. Watch my video. I'm instead of spending a ton of time talking about that, I'm going to say I have a video called "Getting to Research is Easier Than You Think." Go watch that. That hopefully will answer that question for you. If you don't care about money, then why do you all end up in industry? Become good teachers for us? Because there just aren't that many positions. Like 1% of people can even get it. Like there's even like if everyone that gets a physics PhD every year, only 1% of them could even possibly get a professorship because that's all there's available. There's a lot of people that want to get professorships and they can't get them because it's just like there's not as many open. So yeah, people then go to industry and do other things. Simple as that. What's the hardest math class you've taken? Hardest pure math class. I took intro to partial differential equations as a end of my sophomore year of undergrad. That was too early. That was a miserable experience. I had no clue what was going on. Barely survived that class. Physics was my first opinion, but not too confident. But I wasn't too confident. I'm my third year of computer engineering. I still think about physics. Yeah, go give it a try. Go pick up a minor. Do it. If you want to do it, do it. Simple as that. If if you do what makes you happy, even if it takes you a little bit longer in school, do what you think's gonna find you happy. It's really about that. Undergrad physics major and the goal of doing an astrophysics PhD and eventually be an astrophysicist. I feel like I've been only attending my physics classes. Should I do more out of class? Yes, absolutely. Especially if you want to be an astrophysicist, you need to do research. Go find research and do it. Go email professors, ask them about doing research. If you don't find one at your university, then you can start reaching out to people at other universities. And if you want to know how to do that, I'm going to defer you to my video called Getting into Research is Easier Than You Think. CS PhD students. Kind of like the same kind of advice as like an oral PhD student. A PhD student of any field, go get research. If you're saying a current CS PhD student, I mean, I'm in your spot, so like I don't really have too much advice on that. But like, if you want to do a CS PhD, then go do research. I mean, I'm sure PhDs are hard. Like they require a lot of time, a lot of dedication. You got to want to do it. How do you decide which to pursue between physics branches? I tried things out. I mean, you take classes that kind of test things out. Another thing is just try. Like, don't hesitate on doing something. I did theoretical condensed matter physics in undergrad, and now I'm doing experimental AMO physics in grad school. Like, they have relations, but like they're not the same field. And I was able to just like test things, and eventually you kind of just figure it out. So just go try things. Figure out what you don't like. It's okay to figure out what you don't like. If you don't, just go try things. That's how I figured it out. I just went and did things. Public speaking very important to grad school. Absolutely. Public speaking is very important. Very, 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 very important. If you know how to better communicate your science, then it's going to make you a better scientist. Absolutely. Tips on improving this. Go put yourself in uncomfortable situations. That's what I did. I didn't have any public speaking experience until like beginning of college, and I started throwing myself into things. It made me very uncomfortable to do, but I got a lot better. And now I'm sitting in front of the camera here talking for over an hour now. Does getting a minor in subjects like physics or aerospace engineering alongside your major help you get a deep understanding that physics employers would like to hear? Yeah. Simple answer is yes. Yes. Absolutely. Guaranteed yes. Can you please give your opinion about quantum computing? I think quantum computing is great. Great field. Where do I think quantum computers are going to go? All that stuff you saw from Windows or like Microsoft on their Majorana chip, it's BS. It was a marketing thing. They redacted a bunch of papers from like Nature and stuff because everything they said in there is like not really fully true. And they kind of did it because of Google's results they came out with earlier in the year or late last year on Willow. But as a field, quantum computers are like, what else are we going to do? We have problems that we need to solve, and quantum computers seem like they can do them, and there's no alternative. So an answer I got from a professor who does quantum computing on, do you think quantum computers are useful? The answer is yes, because we have no other alternative. Like, give me an alternative, and we'll look into that. But this is the alternative. What kind of things were you tutoring before your undergrad degree? SAT stuff. I wasn't doing SAT stuff. I tutored high school to college level math and physics. Really, that's what I tutor. It's what I felt very confident I could do very easily. They all made the same amount of money, so I chose the stuff that I knew very well. How is the Boulder campus? Gorgeous. It's right on the mountains. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look up pictures of it. Amazing. Beautiful campus. Will you unban me in Discord? I don't. That's not a me. I don't know. Will you unban me in Discord yet? I don't know. I don't think I banned you. I don't remember. Only people I ban are people put scam stuff. You have to seriously drop the skin. Dude, I just use like a. You know what? I'm gonna show you the skincare routine right now. Give me a minute. You want the skincare routine? All right. Ready? Every night, I just do this. CeraVe, that thing. And then after that, you put moisturizer on your face and you go to bed. We've now gone over the whole skincare routine. That's it. It's not that much. I don't know. I'm gonna go put these away. Thank you, Pop Off King. Appreciate that. We popped off. Quant. Have I ever considered going to quant? Dude, people in physics PhDs get absorbed into quant. Wall Street loves physics PhDs because you know how to do math really well. So, yes. Yes. Oh, Janie, I know you're here. Yeah, this is Janie. Janie who just messaged. Credit to you. She showed me the routine. Absolutely credit to you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. You become planning? I would absolutely love to become a professor at some point. I think I want to start an industry because I can always go back in academia. But appreciate you saying I'm good at explaining stuff. That's my goal. I want to help people. That's also why I'm doing this channel. So if you're new here, sub to the channel, please. Please. I'm trying to help more people. I'm going to UBuff next semester. Oh, congrats. As an electrical engineering major. Any clubs for brain-computer interface or anything related to here? Also, what clubs do you recommend for E? UB SEDS. I'm going to defer you to Parth in this chat. Parth, the person that said any electrical engineering things. You go send him an at. Go talk to him. Join UB SEDS, the Rocketry team. It's going to be the best experience you're going to get for anything EE related. That's what I did. And it's amazing. Fantastic experience. Is there a lot of... Oh, we're almost caught up. Look at that. We can start yapping off more things. Or unless... Are we caught up? We could totally not be caught up. Hold on. Is there a lot of people in engineering clubs? And will I learn a lot there? I'm assuming you're also referring to the last question. Yes. There are a lot of people who do engineering clubs. You will learn a lot there. It's a great school. The campus is kind of like the most disgusting thing I've ever looked at in my entire life. So there's not that going for you. Disgustingly ugly campus. But the education you get is going to be good. So it'll be good. Where were we? I lost it. The CU Astro Research Group. Yes, CU is a fantastic Astro groups. Fantastic. Yeah, simple answers, yes. Ton. Work on simulations, yes. A ton. It's great. Electrical engineering versus computer science degree for a stable career and good pay. I don't really care about difficulty. I just want to grind my way to a good, stable job. That's fair. I mean, you could do computer engineering and just get best of both worlds. Depends what you want to do. They're both going to lead you to a good career. I'm not going to lie. My answer to that is based on what you're interested in. Do what you feel like you might enjoy learning more. Because undergrad is going to be hard. It's going to be a lot of work. And you're going to want to learn learning these things. So you're going to be fine either way. Just pick what you want to enjoy. Once you're done with your PhD, are you going to pursue further education or get right into the job market? Would you consider teaching? Is the mic loud? Maybe I'll back away from the mic. I feel like it's a little loud. We'll back away. Is that better? Might be better. Luca, you saying, I see that right there. The UB campus is actually stunning. Don't believe him. The amount of irony in that sentence is insane. You know that campus looks straight out of a garbage dump. That campus is intentionally designed to not be nice. It's just brutalistic architecture everywhere. It's just ugly. No, like, ugh. Don't even try. Come over to Colorado and I'll show you a good campus. Doing PhD, what do you consider teaching? Well, once I get my PhD, this kind of is my further education. So I'll probably go into the job market. Would I consider teaching? I want to at some point. I'd love to end my career, like when all is said and done, whatever happens, it's just a high school physics teacher. I think that's where I want to like end, all the way in the end. Is it possible to TA for like introductory physics course as undergrad senior? Yeah, I did. Talk to a professor. My senior year of undergrad, I TA'd the physics 1 and 2 courses. It's hard. It's going to be hard because they usually save those for PhD students. But I specifically talked to a professor and I got it to happen because I want to just teach. We talked about the skincare routine. I'm glad that you all saw it. Did Terrence Howard solve the 3-body problem or he's tweaking? I don't know. I really don't know. We'll say tweaking. Should I join a Rocket Club at U of I? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you should. Rocketry's like, I think one of the best things to not only learn more about your own field, but to get a lot of exposure to a lot of other fields because every single field is needed to make a rocket happen. Is it easier to get burned out during a PhD than undergrad? Honestly, no. I'm gonna say I'm too early into it to like tell you. I know a lot of people who are graduating are just like, I want to be done with it. Like I think they just get tired of it eventually. But I don't think it's as much of like a burnout because you kind of get more and more time, free time, the deeper you get into it. Right now I'm at like my busiest. I'm taking classes, I'm doing this YouTube stuff, and I'm doing research. But once I'm done the classes and I'm just doing research and I finish like my qualification exams, and it's like I got like a 9 to 5. So then it's like I'm not burning out as much. I'm just gonna leave and we're chilling. I'm gonna attend UC Berkeley. Congrats on getting in. As an undergrad, I'm not entirely sure about what to study undeclared. I'm not sure if you answered this earlier, but how do you find your passion within your subject? Good question. I think in high school I kind of just liked physics, so I was like, oh, wait, what is that? Hold on. I am seeing people send pictures of me in the chat. Okay, you know what? That's it. They're funny. We need this as an emo. I didn't even notice this. All right. Okay, I see how it is. The shot in the dark. But you know anything about how to find my passion? I just kind of I liked watching videos on physics when I was in high school, and it's kind of just like when you get to undergrad, most people change majors. I changed majors. I kind of just like physics, whatever. I just like decided to go for it, and I ended up enjoying it. I switched out studying I was doing comp physics in the beginning, and I switched it out for electrical engineering and physics. So just pick something that sounds interesting to you, especially in the first 2 years. A lot of your classes are just going to be the same in any STEM degree. So it's okay. And then just, there's no problem. You got to change things. As you try things out, you'll learn more things, but take your classes, do things outside of class, figure out what you like, what you don't like. By the way, 1 in a quintillion chance. PCB design. So yes. Do Rocketry. The shot here. Anything about the physics program at Tufts? I don't. I'm sorry. I have no connections there so far. I mean, you can do it like what I did for grad school. There's no problem if sure, the PhD student won't mind if you just shoot him an email and be like, hey, if you say I'm going to Tufts, and I would just want to hear about the physics program and hear about your experiences there, and I just want to know if there's any ways I can get involved. Sure, someone will help you, and then you'll meet people once you're there. How many times do you assume a penguin is a cylinder? More than once, unfortunately. Can we get a fit check? Okay. NASA hoodie. On the back. Gray pants. And Minecraft toys. That's what I got for you. That's the fit check. Thank you for coming to my fit check. As a web developer company, wanted to comment Yeah, that's fair. Are all physics PhDs good Rocket League players? Thank you, Nico. Yeah, I think physics PhDs are just good at everything. Really just that. Not biased or anything, but they're probably just the coolest people that exist. How old are your classmates? I'm one of the youngest people in the program. I'm 22, and I have classmates ranging from, there's a lot of them are 23, 24, very good chunk in there, but there's a lot of people that are also 27, 28, and they're starting at the same time as me. So if you feel like a PhD is not for you, but you're considering one, there's no problem going to industry and coming back. A lot of people do that. They go work in industry for a few years and then they come back. Absolutely no problem doing that. All right, we're gonna sidetrack real quick. There's people who put questions in the Q&A chat. I wanted to make sure I answered. So we're gonna go through those real quick. Also, how do I like? I want to see how many people are here. And I wish I was able to figure that out efficiently. Where is it? I give up. I tried. Okay, let's do these questions in the chat before we come back to your guys' questions. Is first one by Monkey in the chat, in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. Is FPGA/ASIC a good path for RF specialization? Absolutely. RF, yep, done. I mean, easy answer is yes. Even in my field of AMO, experimental AMO physics, I've had conversations with people about how they wish they knew FPGA better, because there's like Nature papers that are coming out because of the fact that they have good FPGA knowledge. So yes, easy answer to that is yes. Do that. Beanie, I'm gonna start by saying I haven't watched any of your videos, but I have like 5 saved to my watch later when I have time. Lol. It's okay. I'm a quantum engineer and I want to work on photonic quantum computers and I'm finishing my 5th semester of undergrad pursuing 2 major degrees, physics and EE. Do you have any good advice on how to get involved, possibly remote, work in industry without any connections? Or any tips on getting involved with labs, startups, working on projects? No worries if you don't get an answer, maybe someone else does. If anyone else has got good tips, feel free to throw them in there. This is the second question in the thread in the Discord, so anyone can see that. But my tips on that is just start contacting people. I didn't know anyone either. Like, I never knew anybody. I know no one that like does these things before I started. I went on LinkedIn when I originally wanted to find internships, and I just started. I went to the companies I was interested in, and I would start by looking at alumni in my school and start messaging them. And then I would go to just anybody. I would, at the end of every night, I would message one person. And I'd be like, hey, I'm doing this and this. You can only send like 200 characters or something. I'd be like, I'm doing this. Would you be willing to talk to me? Most people times I would respond, but I just keep rinsing and repeat. You get mostly no's. And eventually you get some people to say yes. And you get to talk to them. And now you make a connection. I got a meeting with one dude who worked at Intel Quantum Computing. He had his physics PhD. And I got to like talk to him about just like doing physics. So you can talk, like, that was the way I got in contact with people. Like, cold emailing people is a very powerful thing. Just doing stuff like that. So there's no problem in just like blindly reaching out to people and just like seeing what they say. That was a big way I did it. That even goes with doing research and like professors and like labs and stuff. You cold email. You're not going to get a formal introduction. Half the time they want people to just cold email them. That's how it works. They're too busy to reach out to anybody. So they just wait for people to reach out to them. Be the person that does the reaching out instead of letting other people do it ahead of you. Robert said, I will be studying for a bachelor's in EE this September. Any tips? Just enjoy it, dude. Get involved with a club. Go right in the beginning. Just start finding something outside of class to get into, because it's going to get very busy. And if you are already into a club and already in the rhythm of doing a club, doing research, something like that, then when it gets to classes getting harder, then you're going to be much easier able to adapt and fit those extracurriculars into those with the harder classes still. So join something outside of class. How are you doing? I'm kidding, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm busy. Like, I'm just hella busy. It's just like, it's crazy busy. Thank you for coming. I see that. Appreciate it. But what was I gonna say? I completely forgot. Oh yeah, I'm just busy. I'm just doing work constantly. But like, I enjoy what I'm doing, so it's okay. I'm looking forward to summer when I just get to do research in this stuff. So that'll be fun. How do you make yourself, from Besho, how do you make yourself sit down and study when your brain wants to do literally anything else? I'm a second year EE and I also do video edits for a streamer. I've been mainly struggling to stay focused. GPA right now on 3.3, and I'm low-key wondering if it's messing with up long term or if this is just part of the grind. We'd love to hear how you handled stuff like this. Thank you. Um, you got to take a minute to step back if you get like burned out. You're just gonna get burned out. It will happen. Like especially doing a STEM degree, it's just crazy busy constantly, and it only feels like it's getting more busy. And then it's like bam summer, and then bam next semester, bam the next semester. So how do you stay focused? I mean, you're asking someone that has undiagnosed ADHD, so that's a tough person to ask me. But how do I still get my stuff done in the end? So how do I do that? You gotta find a way that works for you. For me, it's just kind of like I low-key intentionally keep my stuff. If I keep my schedule really packed, then I have to stay focused because I have to get everything done because it's like, oh, I can't wait to tomorrow to do this because then I'm screwed. I mean, if you have the motivation to be like, I don't want to not turn in a homework, then if you're doing all your homeworks right before they're due, low-key like I did, then you're going to have to get them done. So a big way I did that. But find resources online of a lot of other people, a lot of other study strategies. And if you're feeling really burned out, you got to take a break for like even just a few hours. You have to force yourself to do it. Be like, okay, for the next few hours, I'm going to play video games. And that's fine. That's perfectly okay. That's kind of what I did. I see how do I handle that? That's what I did. I kept my schedule tight, so I had to get stuff done and forced myself to take a break when I need it. Do you know of any good electrical electronics degrees which can be studied online? Is it even possible to study this online from Jamshad? I'm not familiar with this. Not gonna lie. If anyone else has a good answer, put that in the chat. Any electronics degrees which can be studied online? Electrical electronics. Is it even possible to study this online? Is the question also. If anyone has an idea on that, throw in the chat. I don't know. I don't want to pretend I don't know. And the last question, that's in Arabic. I have no clue to say that. Do I need to know anything in order to join research in uni, or should I have a background? Some research groups are good. Like when you should now to reach out to a group, 0. You should just reach out to the ones that sound cool. Watch my video on how to do that. Just reach out to them. But how do you get in? Like, do you need to have any background? They'll tell you if you just have like. There's research groups that do like quantum mechanics research, and they're gonna be like, listen, I would love to have you, but if you don't know like basic quantum mechanics, I can't. Like, there's nothing you can do. And that's it sucks, but it's understandable. You're gonna have to wait till you get to that point, and you get enough background where you can do it. But there's other groups that are gonna be like, yeah, sure, we'll help you. So you shouldn't need any background to join a group in the first place. Same for the group that I just joined this semester. I had no background in the group I'm in right now. Like, yeah, I did physics, but like that was like comparison to like people who came in with background in like AMO physics. I had none. So I just kind of like went for it, and you kind of figure out as you go. You shouldn't be expected to have extensive background in their specific research area. Like they can say you got to know quantum mechanics, but they can't be like, oh, sorry, you haven't done GPS navigation, path things, like simulations. If you have no experience in that, you can't do a group. If they say that, there's a red flag. You shouldn't be doing that group anyways. All right, covered all the questions in there. Now I can minimize that. Crazy. Sorry, I'm just looking at other stuff. That's absurd. Turn TTS on. I'm not turning TTS on. Is that my number one hater? Plubosaurus? That's my number one hater. I hope you're doing well, number one hater. No way you just sent me $1. Crazy. Crazy. Yo, thank you so much, Parth. Appreciate that for the $1. You get 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. Hope you got yours money worth. I don't know where I am in the chat. Oh god. I don't know what this. I'm a lying pizza chip. I'm a lying pizza chip. Okay. Hardest class I've ever taken? Probably last semester, graduate E&M 1. That class was hard. That was a tough class. That might have been the hardest class I've ever taken. Yeah, cold email pitbull. How do momentum equals mass? Momentum equals mass times velocity. But we don't know that angular momentum is simply just mass times the angular velocity. I have to think about that for a minute, but I don't know. Why? Oh my god. No way, I'm gonna have to answer that now. Thank you, Grace, for the $2. You get 5 big booms. Boom. Wait, no, wait. It's boom, 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 boom. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed. If you donate $5, do you get 20 booms? I'll give you 10. I'll give you 10 booms. Don't. Yes, Arnav. Okay, Arnav, don't call out that I just won my March Madness bracket. I get it. I did. Yeah, I just won like $500 from like a March Madness pool. I did. I just won. Thank you, Houston, for clutching that game up. Thank you. Stolen Valor. How much do I know about FSAE and do you ever participate in it? I don't know much about it. I'm sorry. What are the grades you can get to uni so you can get into a physics uni? I don't know that exactly. Just, I mean, a uni, there's a lot of different unis that have physics degrees that have a lot of different qualifications, but like no matter what, like you're probably gonna be able to get into a university that has a physics program. So you'll probably be fine. Don't worry too much about like going to like a top tier program at the beginning. You really don't need to do that. It's not necessary, or at least to be successful in the field. How is ECEE at Boulder? It's okay. I mean, there's a lot of ECEE PhDs in my lab. If you're doing a PhD, I think undergrad wise is fine, perfectly fine. Like I know more about the PhD, and I just know that the physics program is like a lot better than every other program. So, and like Aero's also really good here. Aero's also really good. I think those are like the two programs here. But a lot of EE people work in like physics labs and stuff. But like the education is like an undergrad. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be perfectly fine. It's a good school. How do I deal with classes I find difficult? Work with people. Don't be afraid to use your resources online. I use AI all the time to look up questions I don't know how to do in homeworks. I copy plenty of homeworks from friends who are able to solve problems that I don't know how to do. But then the difference is that when you copy homework that you don't know how to understand, you're not just copying it, moving on with your life. You are staring at that problem for as long as you possibly need, look up everything you need to understand every single thing done in that problem until you understand the solution, and then you learn something. And you keep doing that for 15 weeks or however long your semester is, and eventually you're going to hit the end of the class and you'll be like, I guess I did learn something. Do we know? You're quiet, by the way. Move your mic closer. Got it. All right, mic is closer. Sorry, we're like, I don't know how, I'm bad at this. Have you ever been given permission to use big booms? Sorry, no, Luca. No, I kind of stole that. I'll send you a message. But thank you, Barth, for the $2. You get 5 more big booms. Boom, 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 boom. All right, thank you. I'm from Germany, and I started studying physics at the year. A lot of moments where I thought I'm too dumb for this. I still feel too dumb for this. Don't worry. Actually, maybe my next video is recorded in the editing stage. So, like, I kind of talk about that a little bit. But, like, you're always going to feel dumb. If everyone around you feels like they're way smarter than you, you're in a good place. Because that means they're going to push you to be better. So, if you're feeling dumb, good. That means that you're going to get a lot better. Yeah. I wouldn't send feet pics for any amount of money. Parth, check your DMs. I wouldn't send them for literally any amount of money, but do check your message. How important is GPA for getting jobs in industry? I think there's a threshold where it is important. It's not unimportant, but if you feel like your GPA isn't as good, then you should be doing things outside of class because that's what's going to make it better. Like if your GPA is like not that great, but you have like insane things that prove you're able to solve problems outside of class, like you've done club projects, you have papers from research, then they're going to look at that first. I haven't had one interview for anything where they've ever been like, oh, I noticed you got a B in quantum mechanics. Can you explain that? They're like, oh, I see you did this super cool project for this Rocketry team. Can you talk to me about what you did? Those are the things that are going to matter more. How do I figure out technical difficulties? Okay. Says it recommends I use a different bit rate. And we'll figure that out in the future. Whatever. What else we got here? What else we got? Is it true that big universities have to apply to get into class? I have heard of that. Yeah, my university did not, but I have heard of that. And that stuff I think is kind of dumb. So, unfortunately, true. Not much I can do about that because I'm not there. Don't give him the picks. Listen, as I said, there is no amount of money that would get me to send someone feet pics. There is no amount of money at all. Anyways. I'm glad that was the greatest $3 you've ever spent. So happy for you. How does ignition timing impact the efficiency and power of output combustion? How should I theoretically find the optimal timing to maxer? Why are you asking me? Like, you're quizzing me. I don't know. This feels more like a propulsion question. Yo, Plubosaurus, are you here? I feel like you can answer that. You like my feet. That's crazy. To just throw into... This is, like, documented permanently on the internet. Depends on the combustion system. There you go. There you go. You got it, Krish. You got it. How do you get funding to do a PhD? Just cold mailing people? I mean, you get into this school. If you're doing a physics PhD, I mean, you should not go to a PhD program unless you have funding. Like, if you get an offer for a PhD and they go, oh, you're not going to have funding, you have to pay for it, then don't do that. Like, literally just don't do that. But you get funding. I mean, you apply to the school and you get in is like the simplest answer. And the way you get in is you reach out to professors and you tell them you're interested in their research and you're like, hey, I'm going to be applying. I'm interested in your work. And if they get back to you and they go, yeah, I think we might want to take you, then that's probably going to help you get into school and it's going to help you get funding. You get into a lab, you get funding. It's the labs who pay you. The labs are paying you. And if they're not paying you, then you're getting funded through TA, which means that you are getting paid to teach and grade for classes. And it's the same amount of pay. Hold on. But let's see. What field am I my PhD in again? I'm doing atomic, molecular, and optical physics. I'm an experimentalist. So that's my field. I did condensed matter theory in undergrad and I transitioned because I was like, ew, theory sucks. If there's like anyone in this chat that happens to also do atomic, molecular, optical physics, but they do it in theory, then they probably smell. That's no shot at anyone specific. No one specific that might just happen to be in this chat. Definitely not. I'm seeing... All right, we might start to wrap up. Oh, Unknown said, I'm a high school physics student who loves math and physics as well as I have a better understanding of physics compared to the same age classmate. What major should I take in uni? Whatever you enjoy. Just do what you enjoy. If you would love physics, then do physics. There you go. You just told me you love physics, so like do physics then. You could also do like an engineering and a physics minor. You could do physics and an engineering minor. They all work. You'll figure out what you want to do more. Just start somewhere in that realm. Sounds like that's what you want to do. And you'll change it up as you do things. Just do things outside of class and get more experiences to figure out what you want to do. So there's that. I'm trying to adjust the ignition timing on the ECU. Okay, I'm going to let you. Do Boulder PhD grads get to be professors of good? Yeah, great institutions. Absolutely. It's a great school. We're ranked in AMO. We're ranked one above Stanford. I believe that's number 4 in the country. Great school. I'm seeing a conversation about things that I don't want to think about. My brain's we're kind of head empty, speaking words. So we have that. How should we how should we wrap this up soon? Do anyone have anything else they want to talk about, or is it maybe a good time to end this? Or I just start playing video games and we just turn it into like a gaming channel, just full out. Also an option. All right, I'm seeing chats are slowing down. So maybe we've covered everything for today. Maybe that's good. Oh, what are some useful projects that will teach you? Can I wrap up the stream with a backflip? No, it's actually on my bucket list to learn a backflip very soon. I'm gonna go to yo, Janie, we gotta get to we still gotta go to a gym and learn how to do a backflip. But yeah, I do want to learn how to do backflip so I can do that. That would be really fun. Useful projects to teach a freshman. If you're in a school, then join a club and do the projects there. I mean, learn PCB design, I would say. I think the best thing you can do is do PCB design. Learn PCB design. That is going to be my best answer. I think it's the best skill you can get as an electrical engineer that you don't learn. You will not learn your classes. What are high impact things you do in undergrad to increase your chance of getting internships? Research and clubs. Things outside of class. Things you literally do outside of class. Those are the things. Your GPA and having a 4.0 is going to get you nothing. Sorry. It's going to be all the things you do outside of class which are going to get you things. Yeah, bro's brain is fried and still has homework to do. Don't worry, I love yapping. This is like the fun part. I could talk all day. Like I literally could just sit here for hours and just keep talking. But like, we'll wrap up soon. Because yeah, I unfortunately do kind of have to do homework. I'm also like a little behind on my lectures, so we're gonna watch those. But hey, life of fun life. But continue making vids. I really want to be a physicist. Your channel helps a lot. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope to not only help people that want to become physics people, but also people who want to do other fields. I want to talk to people who do a lot of things in a lot of ways. So thank you for saying that. It means a lot. What type of engineering do you think is the best, in my subjective opinion? I think, now you're talking to someone who's biased. I think the best ones kind of are like electrical engineering and aerospace. Computer engineering is also great. But it also matters how you apply it. Because like you could do CS, and if you apply it, I think like doing CS and then applying it to like aerospace stuff or physics is like super useful. And then I would say CS is going to be a good choice. Oh, is internet dead? Internet die? Oh, I'm seeing that. Let me know if we're back. Are we back? Someone's got to tell me if the internet's back up. Also, if people are here, join the Discord. There's the Discord link. Join it. Get in here. Gotta get in here. Okay, we're getting to more random questions. I can do this for a minute. I can talk. I guess if I have to like stay here for a minute longer, like I kind of if I have to, I like could stay here for like a minute longer. But our viewership is falling off, and my entire life depends on how many people are clicking on my videos and how many people are watching. So the fact that we have people not clicking on the videos as much, I don't know if I can do this anymore. So like, this is all I care about. I'm kidding. What types of engineering do you think are the hardest? I think electrical and aerospace are the hardest ones. That's my opinion. Other people who are engineers in the chat can give their opinions on what they think. Also, the more you type in the chat, the more people that it's going to show this YouTube stream to. So, yeah. Glad the internet's back. I feel like I had something I was saying. If I didn't answer the subjective opinion one, I said Aero and EE I think are the hardest, but like, depends what you do. Bro, fold under zero. Yeah. Yeah, fold under zero pressure. Tend to do that. Kind of hard. I don't really want to do homework. That's like my main thing. The longer I sit here, the less homework I have to do. So it's kind of that simple. So the more things people have to yap about, the less things I have to do. If you learn math and calc and physics, what classes do you take in an EE degree? I mean, you take like embedded systems, you take communication systems, you take applied electromagnetics, you do like some RIU basic art. I mean, you kind of like, for any undergrad degree, you kind of like take one class that touches each of the subfields that you would pursue further in grad school. So that's kind of like, in general, what you're doing. So, yeah. All right. Maybe it's a good time to wrap this up. So, I don't know how to like. So, thank you everybody. Anyone else have anything else they want to talk about? Or give you like 1 minute to throw any last things out there. Sorry, I just spazzed a bit. It's not my bad. It's all in my skincare routine, which we talked about earlier. Literally that. Thank you. 2-hour stream. I'm not bad at talking, or like I enjoy talking. This is not too hard for me. Don't worry. I would love to have more things to do. Best way to learn math. Talking to people, reading textbooks. My chat's messed up because there's still a bunch more questions. Do I have to like am I like only seeing some people's chats? That was at 7:02. Yeah. Bunch more questions. Let me see if I'm not seeing any of those. I think I did talk about those. Alden. I think I did. Because I see the I got you message, and then I'm looking above it. And I think I answered those. What are some useful projects? Yeah, I think I got these. I don't know if you didn't hear them or something, but I think I did answer those questions, so I'm glad it's not messed up. Do I Star Wars or Star Trek more? Star Wars. Done. Way better. Star Wars is great. Easy answer. Is programming essential to learn before entering a major in computer engineering? Before entering the major? No, you're not expected to know anything before doing a major. You don't need, like, that's the whole point of doing the degree. You don't need to know stuff before doing the undergrad degree. It's great to know. It'll help. Do it for fun. Thank you, Ploob. Yeah, just slow on my end. Yeah, unfortunately. Am I in top chat or live chat? I don't know what that means. Wish I could tell you. I'm just in the live one. Like the one on the screen, I have like oh like am I looking just like scrolling, or like am I looking at the live one? I have them both. Over here I have the live one, which I'm using now, but in the beginning I was looking here at just like and scrolling through. But now the questions have slowed down. So I think yeah, it looks 1-to-1. I think we're good. Anything else? Yeah. I got nothing else. I mean, I got homework to do. Don't want to do it. But like, we might have to do it. I'm in top chat instead of live chat. What does that mean? Like, I don't even know. What does my homework look like? I could show you. Is it similar? It's like, I'll pull up a homework set. Could find one. Yeah, we're just gonna turn into like we're just gonna do homework on stream the whole time. Instagram Reels. Easy answer. Easy answer. Instagram Reels is like, I've built my algorithm brick by brick. And that's all I'm gonna say. Brick by brick. Assignments. Let's see, I'll show you like, I don't know, homework 5. For this one, because it didn't let me click on the other one. Oh. I clicked on the wrong. Definitely not the one I wanted. Homework 5. Alright. Here's, if I do this, it'll work. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, this is what a homework set looks like. This is my homework from like a couple weeks ago. So like we were doing identical particles in this one. So this is like talking about like formal discussions on quantum entanglement, like what happens if you have multiple particles in the system. We're doing like density matrices. These words probably make no sense to any of you. But in case you're wondering what a grad homework looks like, this is what it looks like. A lot of words that you probably don't understand, but how do I put it? If you show me your homeworks and you're not in physics, if you're doing like aerospace and you show me a homework like, I don't know, just like FEA, I'm gonna have no clue what I'm looking at. It's gonna look disgusting to me, but like probably looks disgusting to you too. And just like, but you know how to do it. So it's like, I know how to do this because I'm doing the class. Yeah, that's what my homeworks look like. Instagram might make me homeless. The addiction is bad. Yeah, I set a 30-minute limit on my app, so I specifically don't go on it longer than that for a day. Because it is definitely addicting. Any socio-political commentary on the situation going on in Azerbaijan? Yeah, a lot actually. God, it's crazy what's going on over there, but man, I just don't know if we have time to talk about it right now. So we might just save that for another time. But wow, do I have so many educated opinions on that I could talk about. Is academia pretentious? Depends where you go. Absolutely can be. Simple answer. Did you take linear algebra? Yeah. You need to know that very well. Quantum mechanics, what you're looking at right here, all this notation you're seeing, these are matrices. Just written in funky notation. This is a matrix. This is a matrix. Like, these are all just matrices. Like, it's all matrix stuff. Linear algebra, or quantum mechanics is built on linear algebra. So if you don't know linear algebra, then you can't do it. So, yes. Mac OS, Windows, or Linux, what's your preference? FEA homework right now. Yes. That looked disgusting. Absolutely gross. Mac OS, Windows, or Linux, what's your preference? I like Windows and Mac OS. I think Linux are for nerds who just need to be overachievers and just want to flex that they know how to use a terminal. Is it great? I'm sure. More custom. Oh, but we can customize. I can customize everything. I don't care. Let me just open something. Let me click on a nice picture and open something. I don't need to go on my terminal and just type things in constantly for them to open. There you go. Is it wise? Oh, how do I study for university if I'm bad at studying? Yeah, it's fine. I've taken classes in the summer. Yeah, there's no problem with that. Go for it. Simple as that. Yeah, go for it. No problem with that. I don't want to say it's not like not wise, or it's not like more wise. Like it helps get a class out of the way that you have to do anyways and get you ahead. So in that part, it can be wise. And that's that. Oh my god, the viewership went down a little bit more. Oh my god, we're falling off. I'm becoming irrelevant. This is it. I can't believe, I really thought I was going to go live and like 10,000 people would come in. I mean, it's just like the fact that I didn't have success immediately is crazy. And I can't believe it. I should just quit. I really should. Simple as that. Why is my PhD 5 to 6 years? Every PhD program is like 5 to 6 years. Because you're spending the first 2, like you're doing your master's while you get a PhD. So I spent my first like 2 years doing my master's. And then, yeah, you just keep doing research for like the next 3. And then sometimes things don't go according to plan. Like, if you're doing work that you need to finish an experiment, there's more issues than you expected, then it takes like another year, and that's fine. Yeah, PhD is not a short thing. I'm going to be here for a minute. For like a good minute. But yeah. All right. I feel like it's a good time to wrap up the stream. So I think let me change this camera with the chat. We'll get better at this. Did I take solid state? No, I haven't. I didn't take solid state, actually. And I did do condensed matter in undergrad too. And I didn't get around to taking solid state. I don't really know if I have a need to take it now either, so I might just never take solid state. And I'll probably just learn what I need to know from it when I gotta know it. Unfortunately, I can't do everything. But all right, we're gonna wrap up the stream then. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. Anyways, watching the Savad, thank you. Join the Discord if you haven't. The link is in the bio of this stream. Sub if you haven't subbed to the channel. And that's all I got there. So, thank you very much for joining. And we're gonna sit here for 30 seconds so the stream can catch up, and then we're gonna end it. But thank you all for coming.